Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine on Saturday. There's Zoomy. Zoom! Show them how you zoom around, young man. That's Nippers. You have any reason why I named him Nippers? And that's my little girlies. Nippers. And we're going to be going into this building later to see what all the ruckus was inside of here. Besides the fact that they're vandalizing this also. Look at this, guys. All right, so this is what they're doing to this building. Again, it's 4.5 years old. Custom made by Amish when I moved here. And this is the video. Thank you so much, guys, for commenting on the audio videos and motion videos that I posted early this morning. I was very suspect because I took a detox bath last night. I poured in 3 or 4 cups of Epsom salt with essential oils, baking soda, and borax. And I was actually in the bathtub for an hour. It wasn't my intention to be in the tub for an hour. I usually like to stay in there for half an hour, but what happened was I was listening to music. I was listening to chant music. And about 15 minutes into it, the criminals disconnected my Wi-Fi, which means that I had no internet connection. That was at, believe it or not, it was at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. So I had already been in the bathtub for about 15 minutes, and yes, it was late. But they disrupted the Wi-Fi, and it stayed disrupted for approximately 40 to 50 minutes. The entire time I was soaking. And when I dried myself off, I still tried to get online, check my email and all that. None of that happened for a few minutes. They take the opportunity, and this is what happens when you're under 24/7 surveillance. These are not normal, everyday criminals that come onto your property and do a little damage and stuff. This is a total psychological, military-grade operation. With your tax dollars, oh, here comes Federal Express, which could be for me. And what they do is when you're under surveillance 24/7, they're very opportunistic. They watch what you do. So, of course, obviously, if I'm soaking in the bathtub, I can't get dressed and dry myself off and get to the front door and check my cameras and all that in any length of time to prevent it from happening. And this is how you know when you're under surveillance, is when there are interferences, when you're in positions where you cannot get to them in time. And for the people out there that say, oh, you need to have your cameras. Well, I do have cameras. I've got cameras pointing in every direction. And if you listen to my videos from when I lived at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey, in a home I lived in for 30 years as the original owner, I invested thousands and thousands of dollars on security cameras that were monitored, unmonitored, baby cams, trail cams. Even in my own bedroom, I had trail cams set up in my own bedroom to catch them. They would steal SD cards, wipe clean SD cards, drain batteries. New lithium batteries, would be totally drained literally overnight. The technology exists to drain batteries, wipe clean your security cameras, and I would have them wipe clean for days. I installed a hardwire system that was working wonderfully for a while, until I went out with my family on Christmas Eve for dinner locally. Thank you. And when I returned home, people had been in and out of my house. Thank you. Had been in and out of my house. They dislodged the top wooden stair on my staircase, hoping that either I or somebody else would fall down the stairs. That's right, with your tax dollars. With your tax dollars, the Manalapan Police Department can label you a terror threat while you walk on your driveway with criminal informants that they move in next door at 54 Sutton Drive. And they rotate them. Every year they rotate them. And they bring in new ones. Although the ones that reported me for walking on my driveway, concocting a story that I cursed at her with her infant son in the car or trunk, when she specifically walked out of her house to harass me, and there was no child around, and I did not curse at her. But even if I did, cursing at someone is not a crime. Cursing at someone is a form of expression. And I hear YouTube creators out there, I shouldn't say his name, he's a prepper guy in New York City. I don't know, I counted how many times he uses the F word in a video. You would be astonished that he's still on YouTube. Okay, so no, it is not a crime to curse. But I did not curse at her. Did not curse at her. But she had the audacity to report me lying about what I did. Meanwhile, they vandalized the front of my property months before. And then sent me a threat letter after I asked them to repair it. Either ask for the repair at their own expense, or I would pay for it and then have them reimburse me. And then I received a one-line threat letter from the guy at 54 Sutton Drive. That's posted on my channel. The Manalapan Police Department ignored that letter. They ignored my letter to them. They ignored that they vandalized my property. They ignored that my painter, Jonathan or Joe, he uses both names, Plummer, Plummer, stole $4,000 from me. He allegedly is related as a cousin to one of the Manalapan police officers. The only police officer there that I thought was ethical, but evidently anybody can be bribed or coerced. Not me, honey. Not me. So yes, anybody can be placed on a list to be harassed. Now, unbeknownst to me, hello girlies, hi. Hi guys, I know you're so happy because it's sunny. We finally have sun after 3 or 4 days of rain. We finally have sun. But anybody can be placed on a list. You don't have to be a terrorist. There's a YouTube channel called Delete Laws, Lawz, a man named Chile Di Castro. And he speaks out against the badge abusers. Unfortunately, he got himself in a pickle, and he's in jail now, a detention center or jail or whatever, for exerting his rights. And a corrupt judge gave him a 6-month sentence. 6 months for not being violent, not resisting arrest, just saying something, exerting his rights, speaking words. They arrested him and put him in the clinker for now 6 months. This is a revenge, an abuse of justice. There are real unalivers out there that don't get 6 months jail or prison time. There are children that go missing every year that never found. But they're more than willing to hunt down innocent people for profit. When I woke up this morning, there was a private plane flying over my property. And yes, and I will say it again, because I dare them. I want them to contact me and say, oh, we never did that. Manalapan Police Department, who I reported to the Attorney General at the time. And when I have time, I think I will refile my complaint and refile my complaint here in Kentucky also, because it's amazing how quickly these attorney generals just disappear and go find another form of employment. And that's what happened in New Jersey. I think it was 1 or 2 years after I filed my complaint, we had a new attorney general. And now here in Kentucky, after I filed my complaint with Daniel Cameron and his criminal investigation committee department, who never followed up after receiving all of my evidence, is gone. Now they have a new attorney general, and I'm almost skeptical. I'm almost skeptical to refile, because our new attorney general is a former, get this guys, a former FBI agent. He looks like a pretty smart guy, former FBI agent. So now people, from what I understand, they don't become a former agent, right? You're in it for life. And if he is a former and he left, why did he leave? How did he become Attorney General? And is he a good guy or a bad guy? You know, is he for the people or not? A former FBI whistleblower, Stephen Friend, said that the sheriff has it within their authority to not go along with these corrupt programs. I've got a very low battery, so if this clicks off, it's not the criminals, it's because my battery is low. So it is this within the jurisdiction and authority of any sheriff to not go along with these federally funded corrupt programs. They don't need to bring them into their jurisdiction and their neighborhoods. And when they do, they're involved and corrupt. And if you read that letter that was written to our local retired sheriff by Damon Jones, when I hired him and paid $300, when I hired him to investigate the crimes going on here, he specifically stated that in this jurisdiction, that sheriffs only get hired or voted in if everybody wants them in. So that's like a little corrupt, organized crime cartel. If the people's vote makes no difference, and it's only a group of select people that can vote them in or elect them, well, that's a problem. Those are self-interests. That's not the interest of the people. That's the interest of a select few. And my birdie is speaking out. My birdie's blowing the whistle here. This is a guinea. This is a guy. You want to say hello? He's one of the younger ones. You want to say hello? Like now, he's camera shy. Zoomy. Should we show them what they did to the outside of my building here? The underpinning, they sliced it here and here and here. That's 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I covered it with duct tape, and they're peeling the duct tape off. Zoomy doomy doom. And then they planted all kinds of stuff in here. And look what they planted inside my garden bed that I actually weeded about a month ago. Yeah, I weeded this all about a month ago in preparation of planting. And they planted all kinds of grass in here. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on a Saturday. And thank you to all those people that view those sound and motion videos, and your comments are priceless. In fact, I think I'm going to cut and paste some of your comments into the description so that I can save them for the future. And the next time our local sheriff thinks you're crazy, I can just whip out my recording and say, here you go. Somebody was in my building on Friday night, early Saturday morning, moving stuff around, making a ruckus inside my building. All here recording. It's not me that needs to solve the crime. I only provide you with the evidence, and you go find that perpetrator. And we got some predators in the air there. They look like they could be hawks, and they like to swoop down and eat my chickens. Anybody's chickens or pickens. Right up there, I don't know if you could see it. Right up there. Right up there. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for now because my battery's going to conk out. Talk to you guys soon.